Quantum Leap 1989 wasn't just another time travel show. It was a passion project that NBC almost canceled 5 times before it even premiered.
He broke all the rules of time travel. That was a negative.
The star suffered a career-ending injury during the pilot. The network banned multiple episodes for controversial content, and the finale they aired wasn't the finale they wanted. These are 15 facts about the series that leaped through history, but never made it home. Donald P. Bellisario created the show after his father's death. Creator Donald P. Bellisario conceived Quantum Leap while grieving his father's death in 1987. He'd been reflecting on regret, second chances, and whether people could change their past mistakes. The original concept was much darker, focusing on a man literally trying to prevent his father's death by leaping through time. NBC rejected this version as too depressing for network television. Bellisario revised the concept to make Sam Beckett leap into other people's lives to put right what once went wrong. The father's death remained subtext throughout the series. Bellisario admitted the show was therapy for processing his grief and guilt. He wondered if we get second chances to fix our mistakes. Scott Bakula tore his Achilles tendon during the pilot and nearly lost the role. Scott Bakula suffered a complete Achilles tendon rupture while filming the pilot episode's opening scene. He was running across a field when his tendon snapped audibly. Bakula collapsed in excruciating pain. He was rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery. Doctors told him recovery would take 6 to 8 months. NBC immediately considered recasting. The network had invested substantial money in the pilot and couldn't wait months for Bakula to heal. Bakula begged for a chance to continue. He promised to work around the injury.
A lot of those problems are kind of over with and done. Yeah. It presented a very interesting situation, and I think it really worked well for the show.
The production shut down for 3 weeks while Bakula began aggressive physical therapy. When filming resumed, Bellisario carefully framed shots to hide Bakula's limp and limited mobility. Dean Stockwell was cast only after dozens of other actors refused the role. The role of Admiral Al Calavici was rejected by over 30 actors before Dean Stockwell accepted it.
Don't count the old boy out. He might outlive you.
The part seemed unappealing, a hologram only the main character could see, delivering exposition and comic relief. Established television actors saw it as a thankless supporting role. Several actors who read the script called it the worst sidekick part ever written. NBC suggested various name actors who all declined. Bellisario grew desperate as production approached. Dean Stockwell, whose career had declined since his child actor days, was suggested almost as a joke. Stockwell read the script and saw something others missed. He recognized Al's potential for depth beneath the womanizing surface. NBC canceled the show 5 times before finally airing the pilot. NBC ordered the Quantum Leap pilot in March 1988, but repeatedly canceled it before broadcast. Network president Brandon Tartikoff loved the concept, but research department tests were disastrous. Test audiences found the premise confusing and too complicated. NBC canceled the show in May. Tartikoff personally revived it weeks later. The cycle repeated 4 more times between summer 1988 and spring 1989. Each time, research indicated failure. Each time, Tartikoff overruled his own executives. He believed in Bellisario's vision, despite evidence suggesting it wouldn't work. NBC finally aired the pilot March 26, 1989, with minimal promotional support. The network expected quick cancellation. The Leap Between Lives. Special effect. Cost $15,000 per episode. The signature blue-white electrical effect showing Sam leaping into new bodies was extremely expensive for late 80s television. Each leap effect cost between $12,000 and $15,000 to produce. The series averaged 3 to 4 leaps per episode, consuming substantial portions of the budget. The effect required multiple passes of optical printing, hand-animated lightning elements, and careful color timing. Universal Television constantly pressured Belisario to reduce leap frequency to save money. He refused, arguing the leaps were essential to the show's identity. The production absorbed costs elsewhere, recycling sets and limiting location shooting. Guest stars were paid minimum scale to afford the effects budget. By season 3, improved technology reduced costs to approximately $8,000 per leap. The episode about Sam leaping into a woman was almost banned by NBC. The third episode, What Price Gloria?, showed Sam leaping into a woman's body. NBC's Standards and Practices Department nearly refused to air it. Network censors worried about a male consciousness in a female body creating inappropriate situations. They demanded extensive script revisions. Belisario fought back. Our episode explored gender identity thoughtfully. NBC remained uncomfortable with scenes showing Sam adjusting to female anatomy and dealing with sexism. The network particularly objected to a scene where Sam experiences menstrual cramps. That scene was cut entirely. Other episodes featuring Sam as women faced similar scrutiny. The episode Another Mother, showing Sam pregnant, generated hundreds of complaint letters. Donald P. Belisario wrote most episodes himself. Because writers couldn't grasp the format, Belisario personally wrote or rewrote approximately 60% of Quantum Leap's 97 episodes. He found that staff writers struggled with the show's unique structure. Each episode required mastering a different genre, time period, and supporting cast while maintaining Sam and Al's relationship. Writers would submit scripts that felt like generic time travel stories, rather than Quantum Leap episodes. Belisario spent countless hours rewriting dialogue and restructuring stories. He worked 18-hour days throughout the series' run. His marriage suffered, his health declined. Executive producer Deborah Pratt, who was also Belisario's wife, begged him to delegate more. He couldn't. Belisario believed only he fully understood Sam's character and the show's emotional core. Scott Bakula sang in multiple episodes. Despite NBC forbidding musical numbers, Scott Bakula was a trained Broadway singer before television. Belisario wanted to showcase this talent, but NBC explicitly forbade musical episodes. The network believed singing would seem random and inappropriate for science fiction. Belisario found workarounds. He placed Sam in situations where singing was contextually justified: a piano bar, a beauty pageant, a wedding band. NBC grudgingly allowed these scenes, but limited their length. Bakula performed Imagine by John Lennon in one of the series' most memorable moments. NBC initially cut the performance for being too long. Fan outcry forced them to restore it for reruns. If you're enjoying these behind-the-scenes secrets about classic science fiction television, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next deep dive. We've got more shocking production stories coming soon. Now back to Sam's Leaps Through Time. The Evil Leper arc was created. Because NBC demanded a recurring villain, NBC executives insisted Quantum Leap needed a recurring antagonist to boost ratings during the 4th season. They believed the show was too nice and needed dramatic conflict. Belisario strongly disagreed. He argued the show's appeal was Sam helping people, not fighting villains. NBC threatened cancellation unless he complied. Belisario created the Evil Leaper arc featuring Aaliyah, a leaper who changes history for worse. He intentionally made the concept problematic, hoping to prove his point. The Evil Leaper episodes performed poorly with audiences. Fans hated them. Critics called them tonally inconsistent. NBC quietly dropped the villain requirement after 8 episodes. Belisario felt vindicated, but resented the network interference. Dean Stockwell's costume budget exceeded Scott Bakula's by thousands. Dean Stockwell insisted his character, Al, wear increasingly outrageous clothing as the series progressed. His costume budget eventually exceeded $25,000 per season, triple Scott Bakula's wardrobe costs. Stockwell personally selected fabrics, patterns, and accessories from high-end Hollywood costume houses. He believed Al's fashion sense revealed character depth. Universal Television complained repeatedly about the expenses. Stockwell refused to compromise. He argued Al's clothing was essential to the character's identity. Belisario supported Stockwell, recognizing that Al's fashion choices became iconic. The wild suits, loud ties, and colorful shirts made Al visually distinctive. The show was canceled. Despite strong ratings and critical acclaim, NBC canceled Quantum Leap in May 1993, despite the show ranking in the top 50 programs. The fifth season averaged 12 million viewers per episode, solid numbers for early 90s television. The series had won multiple Emmy Awards and Golden Globe nominations. Critics praised it consistently. So why cancellation? The answer was purely financial. Each episode cost over $1.2 million, expensive for hour-long drama. NBC couldn't sell enough advertising at sufficient rates to make profit. The network needed cheaper programming or bigger hits. Quantum Leap was neither cheap enough nor popular enough to justify costs. Belisario was informed of cancellation in February, but told to finish the season without a proper finale. NBC offered no extra budget or time for closure. The abrupt cancellation shocked cast, crew, and fans. Belisario was devastated and angry. Scott Bakula filmed the series finale. Without knowing it was the final episode, Scott Bakula filmed Mirror Image, believing the show would return for a sixth season. NBC hadn't officially canceled Quantum Leap when production wrapped. Belisario suspected cancellation was likely, but couldn't confirm it. He wrote Mirror Image as both a potential season finale and series finale. The ambiguity affected Bakula's performance. He played certain scenes casually, assuming he'd continue Sam's journey next season. When NBC announced cancellation weeks after filming, Bakula was heartbroken. He realized his final performance as Sam Beckett hadn't received the emotional weight it deserved. Bakula later said if he'd known it was truly the end, he would have approached the finale completely differently. He never got proper closure with the character. The surprise cancellation robbed him of a conscious farewell to a role that defined his career. The final episode's controversial ending generated thousands of angry letters. The series finale, Mirror Image, aired May 5, 1993, with an ending that enraged fans. The final title card revealed Sam never returned home. After 5 seasons of hoping Sam would leap back to his own life, viewers learned he remained lost in time forever. The closing text stated, "Dr. Sam Beckett never returned home." NBC received over 15,000 complaint letters within weeks. Fans felt betrayed. They'd invested 5 years expecting Sam would eventually succeed. The bleak ending seemed cruel. Belisario defended the decision, explaining that Sam's journey was never about going home, but about helping others. He believed a happy ending would betray the show's themes. Many fans never forgave him. The controversial ending remains debated 30 years later. Some consider it poetically tragic. Others call it unnecessarily depressing. Belisario never apologized for the choice. Donald P. Belisario wrote a reunion movie script that NBC rejected. Belisario wrote a Quantum Leap television movie script in 1996 that would have resolved the series ending. The script showed Sam finally leaping home, but discovering that returning created worse timeline problems. He had to choose between staying home or leaping again to fix the damage. Al would sacrifice himself to help Sam. NBC read the script and rejected it immediately. The network claimed insufficient audience interest to justify production costs. Belisario believed NBC was punishing him for criticizing the show's cancellation publicly. He pitched the movie to other networks without success. The script circulated among fans for years through unofficial channels. When the 2022 Quantum Leap reboot was announced, fans hoped Belisario's movie would finally be produced. It wasn't. The reunion story remains unfilmed. Bakula's Sam Beckett never got proper closure. Alternate ending Donald P. Belisario filmed, But NBC cut an alternate ending to mirror image that provided more hope. The deleted sequence showed Sam leaping one final time into a bright white void. He materialized in his own body, standing in the Quantum Leap Project waiting room. Al, Beth, and the entire team were waiting. Sam had finally made it home. They embraced emotionally. The final shot showed Sam looking at the imaging chamber, knowing he could leap again if needed, but choosing to stay. The ending suggested Sam earned the right to stop. NBC Test screened both endings. The focus group preferred the hopeful version. NBC executives overruled them, choosing the darker ending for artistic integrity. Belisario wanted to include both endings on the DVD release. NBC refused permission. The alternate ending was never officially released. It remains locked in Universal's archives. Quantum Leap could have been a safe time travel show with a hero who comes home victorious. Instead, Donald P. Belisario created a meditation on sacrifice, regret, and redemption that ended in tragedy. The reunion movie was rejected. The friendship collapsed, and Sam Beckett never returned home. Some journeys have no destination, only purpose.